Please, thank you.
So before I start what I prepared, I just want to clarify for those of you who are unaware, the very large document that Larry held up, the categorical exclusion worksheet, was handed in to the Federal Railroad Association on the promise that they were not going to increase trains. The Federal Railroad Administration gave them $6 million to do this report, which, as he said, it is garbage. It is full of lots of, what did we decide we were going to call it? Inconclusive information. We're not allowed to say this. Okay, so let me start by saying that the ridership on the Ventura County line, that is the name of the line that goes to our neighborhood, is very low. The trains are almost empty. Even during peak commuter hours, these trains are more than half empty. We see it with our own eyes every day. We see the trains in our yard. But it's also in the statistics, as you can see from that chart. The demand for more trains at this point is not there. Okay. So the trains are practically empty. The demand for trains at this point is not there. In fact, ridership has been consistently decreasing. Why do we need to add a double track if there's no need for more trains? Here are several reasons why adding an unnecessary second track makes it less safe, not more, for those of us who live adjacent or near the tracks. And by the way, I'm going to interrupt here to say that presentation, when they're talking about the double track part, there's no part about safety. It's about their timetables. We're only talking a few minutes here and there while they're idling in industrial areas, by the way. They're idling now in industrial areas, not in a residential neighborhood. And it's just for a few minutes on their timetable. It is not about safety, this double track. But here are the reasons why it is not safe for us. Both tracks will have trains going in both directions. Some people think that because there are two tracks, that means all trains on one track going this way and all trains on another track going that way. That would seem like it would be safe, but that's not the case. One track, the one that they're proposing to put on the south side, would be for all commuter trains, Metrolink, Amtrak trains. The other track would be only for Union Pacific. So now you have double the chance for head-on collision impact. Now you have two tracks with trains going in both directions. That makes it less safe, not only for crashes, but derailments. It also makes it less safe because double tracks at every street crossing means double the chance of a car, a truck, or a pedestrian causing an accident like the one in February of this year in Oxnard that killed the conductor and injured 25 people, or the one in Glendale in 2005 that killed 11 people. If Metro installs the second track, Union Pacific will no longer have to share their track. And we will get more commuter trains, as they've said, even though they said in the one report they weren't, and all of their promotional information about this double track, they promise, yes, it's for more trains. So we'll get more of those trains and more freight trains, because now their track is freed up. Now they don't have to share anymore. So what does that mean? That means more emissions for us going through our residential neighborhood that we have to breathe every day, aside from the noise and vibration. So the number of trains will increase, and the length of the freight trains will increase as well, because they don't have to share anymore. They don't have to wait and idle, so they'll be able to have longer freight trains, which means that every single street crossing, we're going to be waiting even longer and more often, because we have more trains and longer trains. And what does that mean for emissions? That means all sorts of cars sitting and idling for longer periods of time, causing more emissions in our neighborhood. Along with traffic jams. Having trains even closer to our home is not safer. My home in particular, our bedrooms would be 30 feet from the proposed second track. If a train derailed during the night, my family could be instantly killed. Having trains go so close to residential homes is very dangerous. All over the country, and even in California, there are setback regulations. In Stockton, California, a train can't be any closer than 85 feet to a residential home. But here, we have no setback regulations. They can come as close to us as they want to. It is very dangerous. If a train crashes or derails, this is what they do. They jackknife, and then they topple over. So they go long distances when this happens. If you live next to the train tracks, you could be dead. It's very dangerous. And then in the categorical exclusion report, they talk a lot about the Chatsworth 2008 accident, using that as an example of how it's going to be safer. But this track isn't even going where that accident happened. It's complete nonsense. It has nothing to do with us. There's no reason for a double track in our neighborhood. The only thing it's going to do is make things worse for us.
The only thing that I would add is when you see a train derailment, you can go online and look at pictures all over the country, and you can see how they jackknife. And this train that happened in Glendale in 05, our home would have been roughly here. So we would have been in the impact zone. This was from a crazy guy who decided to try to commit suicide and put his Jeep right in the middle of the track, and he abandoned it at the last second, and it derailed. Killed 11 people, injured 177. This is what it looks like. So keeping the distance is very important. We live near White Oak. The distance for White Oak and the new track would put us in that impact zone. Right now, at our dead end, this is what's protecting us from a truck driving through White Oak and landing on the track. That's what would stop. That couldn't stop a truck. Truck would go right through that if they wanted to, and there's people that want to do stuff like that, as we witnessed in Glendale. Now, Oxnard, that happened in February of this year, was because a car couldn't make it over the existing pathway. And that's what one car can do. Oops, down here, sorry. And had the train had more than 48 people on it, there would have been a lot more deaths. Only the engineer died, and 25 of the 48 people that were on that train were injured. So half the people on the train were injured. Certainly there would be more damage to life. That was this year. So, and all of these happened on our line, on the Ventura County line, not some other line. The line that goes right by our house every single day. The last thing I want to talk about is what is a decibel and how do they do the sound readings. In the category exclusion report, they talk about adding a second track would only increase the average decibel by less than 1. And because of that, they didn't have to do an environmental EPA study. To give you an idea, 40 decibels is a whisper. A regular conversation is 60 decibels. Just an annoying volume is 70 decibels. Potential hearing damage, 80 decibels. Likely hearing damage, 90 decibels. And 100 decibels is serious hearing damage. We get on a daily basis trains that come by, especially the freight trains, where we get readings over 110. Now I know they do their modeling, and that's how they get away with saying that the average daily 24 hours, this is how they figure it out. But it's just bad news for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick.